Hello YouTube, this is Crimson.the Gamer, and I just benchmarked my PC a second time for today, and this is my score from Firestrike. It's really close to a 1080 Ti. I mean, even Joe mentioned in his video that he has overclock, not to mention he has a better processor than mine, and I got a score of 30,511. Sorry, excuse me if you hear me eating. I'm just kinda hungry. This score 15,210, 8,418. So I overclocked the memory a little bit more, and everything pretty much the same. I'm really afraid to push the GPUs to 1500 megahertz, because I feel like I don't have enough of a power supply to really do that, to push both of my RX 580s up to 1500 megahertz. And having my processor overclocked to 5 gigahertz, both at the same time, I think that's gonna push my computer to its limits, and I really don't feel like doing that. And besides, for the performance you're getting for two RX 580s, top of the line RX 580s, if you have a really good CPU cooler, like a Corsair 240T, or the Kraken liquid cooler, or anything that is a double fan cooler, like the what's it called, the Cooler Master 240T RGB cooler. That one's also really good. Or for the air fans, you can go for the Cooler Master. Forgot what was the air fan. It was a really big red bluish RGB looking fan from Cooler Master, or you can go from Be Quiet coolers, especially those really big ones from Be Quiet. Yeah, that's what you need to get for a cooler or a liquid cooler. Personally, I will go for air cooler because it's cheaper, and if you get one of those really big air coolers, they're about as half as the best liquid cooler you can get, and it's safer if you have air cooler. I almost killed one of my RX 580s. Thankfully, I had a warranty, and because of that, I had some problems with my computer because of my liquid cooling. I was cleaning my liquid cooler, putting some fluids on it, and when I was putting it on the processor, after I put some thermal paste on the processor, and I try to, put the cooler inside in there, just put the bolts, everything all together. But what happened was the liquid cooler actually dropped a couple of drops onto my video card. I didn't put paper or anything to keep it from from not getting into my graphics card, and I wiped it, of course. I thought it was, there was no water on it. I turned it on, and my computer just started restarting, and restarting, and then I had to just take out the graphics card and give it to my warranty, because what I realized is that none of my games, nothing was running, no benchmarks, nothing. When I had both my cards in Crossfire, so I took one of them out, the one that I was sure that was covered in liquid, the top card, and the computer ran perfectly fine with a single graphics card. So the other one I gave with the warranty, I didn't tell them that that's what happened to my graphics card, and I told them that there was a power outbreak from my computer, and it just shut down. I didn't know what happened. I just didn't know what happened. That's what I told them, and they actually gave me a new graphics card. I was happy because of the warranty. I told them that my card got burnt, and that's it. That's all I told him. So yeah, this is a score that I just did a few seconds ago, and I got 14450 megahertz overclocked. It's it's in stock 14430, but of course you can push it higher. I've seen people push the Sapphire Nitro all the way to 15 megahertz stable. And if you have two of these cards, oh crap, that's gonna be like better, much better than just having a gigabyte RX 588 gigabyte card, because a gigabyte RX 588 gigabyte is 1340 megahertz of speed, you know, and you try to make a crossover with that card again with another gigabyte ROS, both of them are going to run 1340 megahertz. So what I was trying to say is, if you get those cards overclocked to 15 megahertz, of course you're going to need a pretty hefty power supply. This thing, you also have to be able to, you know, put some core voltages and stuff like that. This thing will run at 50 megahertz. Imagine you have both of your cards running at 1500 megahertz. That's about 160 megahertz above the standard low-tier RX 580. And the other card will run an extra 160. That's 300 to 200 megahertz depending on the card you're buying. And these are one of the best RX 580s. There's only one other card that I guess is on par with it and can do the same thing. That is the Msi Duke RX 580 model. The only RX 580 with triple fans. That is the other card that I will say that is as good as the Sapphire versions. Now, the reason why the Sapphire is so good is because the Sapphire has freaking giant heat pipes on their cards, and that's what makes it easier to overclock. The cooling, it makes it much easier. Although the card will take a lot more power, overclocking will be easier because it stays cooler. The cooler the card is, the better it is to overclock. So yeah, that's what I overclocked to. Both my cards running 1450 megahertz stably. If I try to overclock further, I can't really run it any more stable than this. Of course, I didn't overclock my processor. When I got that score of 22,212, I had also my processor overclocked to 5 gigahertz. Yeah, that's all I needed to say. The graphics score is 30,511, and Timmy Joe's graphics score on his overclocked 1080 Ti, right, was 31,089, and I have gotten scores like that. It's really close to 1080 Ti performance level. So if you can possibly overclock it even further, those cards, I have no doubt they'll be on par with the GTX 1080 Ti, and also a better processor, because Jimmy Joe has a better processor, a 740X processor, an X processor. So yeah, these are my scores I benchmarked from Firestrike. This is the highest score I got with a 5 gigahertz processor, and this is the current score I just got. So yeah, this is all I had to say. Please, if you like the video, comment, subscribe, like. It really would mean a lot, because I have no subscribers in my channel. And share the video, please, because someday I really wish I can make YouTube videos for fun and become famous. That would be nice. This is Crimson Dante Gamer, and if you like the content that I'm showing, please like, subscribe, and comment underneath the comment section below. And peace.